Welcome back to the Tide Hangout. This is Mike, and today I'm going to continue last week's If I Started Over, but now in 1985. And what would you want to get? How would you go about it? Well, more or less how I would go about it. I did cover a couple things last year that are in this year, so I'm not going to go redo that. And there's quite a bit going on in here, so I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet as I can. I'm going to try to go over as much as I can, give you my ideas, my recommendations, and just kind of talk about what I would do if I was starting over, what I'd go after coming up. Starting out, I'm going to use the same site that I did last time, which is the g1universe.com/checklist, and I'm looking at Autobots and the Decepticons. Autobots way outnumber Decepticons in this year, and it is probably that way every year. Anyhow, we'll get into looking at these, and I'll try to go through it as quick as I can, and I'm just not going to, some of these figures that don't really have great masterpiece representations, I'm not really going to go into so much. But let's get into this. Let's get started. I'm going to start with the Beachcomber. I suggest the Fans Toys. I did like the X-Transbots Arcos on the left. Fans Toys is in the middle here. That's a green version of the G2 version of X-Transbots Arcos. But as time goes by, the Fans Toys one hasn't gotten a reissue that I know of and is climbing a price that might be hard to get. And I think X-Transbots is still pretty affordable. So that's the one I would recommend for that guy. Then getting into Cosmos. Now this is where I'm getting a little confused. I think the one on the right is MMC. I think the one on the left is Toy World. They might be swapped, but either way, that's those two. But the one in the middle is X-Transbots and X-Transbots for the win with their Cosmos. What do they call that one? I think it was Klaatu. Doing all that one from memory. But anyway, Cosmos. X-Transbots is what I'd go with, the Cosmos, and it's at a pretty recent reissue. Not sure if it's still easily available at retailer or something along those lines, but that's what I'd go for. Looking at Blasta, Fans Toys is the one on the right, and the one on the left is Deformation Space, I believe. Either way, they're so similar, it doesn't really matter. The only difference you're really going to notice in hand is that the red is more vibrant. On the Fans Toys, I would go with the Fans Toys if you can. The Deformation Space is still very nice. It's very decent, very G1-esque. Some people would still also say go with, I believe it was KFC. It was the KFC version. That would be one, but it's more stylized. Yes, that one was Transistor. Don't have a picture of it. These are the two, and I would go with the Fans Toys. The Deformation Space is a little flat in the color range. Next up, we've got, well, Inferno, Grapple, those two, they're same mold. Well, it's the same mold, but Grapple and Inferno. On the left is Takara, and that's what I'm still rocking for my Inferno, and I actually have the Takara Grapple also. I think I got KOs of them, so KOs are probably the easiest to get, cheapest to get. Then in the middle is the MMC version. Of course, they did theirs. These are all old designs. Even the one on the right is X-Transbots, and that one started out as Dante, and then they've renamed them as they colored them, different colorations. But Dante's and Dante's Inferno, still all decent options if you want them. I would say people praise Takara because the whole ladder and everything collapses into the chest, makes it much more clean bot. And for that, I mean, I still rock Takara. I did not get the X-Transbots Inferno. I should have just talk about it, take a look at it. But I do think it's kind of fun when you have characters that are just recolors to have different companies representation of different colors. Just like what we're going to get right now with like Fans Toys version of Ironhide, keeping the X-Transbots version of Ratchet. Same thing here. Makes for a more interesting display to have different variations from different companies in different colors for different characters. As for Jetfire, there are no Jetfires. You have to go with Skyfire. Ha, 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 ha. Anyway, on the left is Taka Toys Kronos. In the middle is Takara, which I actually like Takara. Just looking at pictures, I thought he'd be goofy looking and wonky, but he actually does work very well. He looks good in person. On the right is Fans Toys, which looks heroic. It is a nice looking bot. does not look as much like the cartoon accuracy that Takara went for, so Takara for me is the win. And you can get the KO probably significantly cheaper than the Takara version, or the Fans Toys version. Yeah, and cheaper than Takara. The KO is going to be cheapest of all this. The KO, Takara, is probably still cheaper than a Dakatoys Chronos. Dakatoys Chronos went to $400 back in the day. It was originally released for like $160. Had a lot of QC issues. Still has a lot of QC issues if you've got one. But I still have them because I like Jetfire, Skyfire. So, I recommend Takara in the middle. And KO if you want it cheap. For Omega Supreme, I'm going to say a tie, equal, whichever one you want to get for the best price. I've heard there's issues with hips on the Fans Toys, but I don't know. I never owned it. I never handled it. I do know that in person, side by side, you're going to just notice a more premium appeal of paint on the Fans Toys from what I've seen in videos. But I've got the DX9 right now, and if I had to start over again, I probably would still seek out a DX9 because I think the Fans Toys one is still carrying a hefty price tag. But DX9 made Fans Toys lower their price on theirs just by announcing theirs by $100. So competition is good. That's proof that having DX9 in the game and these other companies in the game keeps Fans Toys from being too astronomical. Next up, Perceptor on the left is X-Transbots. On the right is the Fans Toys, Tesla, and X-Transbots is called Jansen. And it originally came with a bunch of minifigures, like miniature Autobots that were just small figures. It's kind of cool. But I would still recommend Fans Toys over the X-Transbots, although I think you'd be perfectly fine getting either one. They both have great paint. They both look great. I just like the deeper red that they chose for Fans Toys, and it's a little slimmer. I don't know. Overall, I like it just a little bit more. Not a lot more. And is Powerglide. On the left is DX9. A lot of these are some pretty old videos. I still haven't put my Fans Toys one back into bot mode. Fans Toys on the right, though. DX9 is pretty solid, pretty decent. And then there's also a KO of that, too, which is very strange. Very few and far between. Do the third parties get knocked off? But then here we go on the right with the Fans Toys one. It's a tough one because really DX9 is cleaner. Fans Toys is bigger and taller, which I like that. I'm attracted to that. But that's why I've been rocking the DX9 as my bot mode because it's fine. DX9's fine. Fans Toys, it didn't blow it out of the water, oddly enough. It has been over 4 years since we've had a Masterpiece Sea Spray, and getting a clip out of my video, these videos is a lot harder to get a good looking clip with all the movement and stuff. But anyhow, on the left is X-Transbots, and that's their Neptune. On the right is Fans Toys Spectre 2.0, and I've gone down this rabbit hole for a while, but I still rock X-Transbots right now. And if I were to have to start over again, I would still stick with X-Transbots for the win. Easy win. The Fans Toys 2.0 isn't bad. And their 1.0 wasn't a bad figure, just wasn't Sea Spray. So either one's fine. Just get in where you fit in with that one. And next up is Skids. I don't have any Skid in the game. On the left is Takara. No. On the left is the X-Transbots. On the right is the Takara. I'm sure I got that right. But I don't have Takara. I've got the X-Transbots. So with that, I think they're about equal. I think this one, engineering-wise and everything, is about the same. And that's coming from someone who just only has handled the X-Transbots and not the Takara one. And I'm sure people are going to say the Takara is probably a better transformation and all this good kind of stuff. And they might be right. I just don't know. I haven't handled it, and I'm just fine. And this is where it gets into I don't really care about the character. And most people probably don't either. Just to clarify again, Takara is the one on the right. Hey, and you know what? Maybe I will get the fourth party Takara that's available right now for $44. Yeah. Alright, so there's Dinobots, and most of this 7-1 came out in season this year, but here we go. I would say something surprising. There's Gigapower, and there's Fans Toys. Fans Toys is smaller and more cartoon. Less shine and gleam to them. Gigapower is much shinier. I personally have the Gigapower because they have the chrome and they're shiny and all that, but if I were to start over again, I'd probably wait around and see if Magic Square makes theirs, because there's a couple of cheap Fans Toys ones or affordable Champ Fans Toys ones that have recently been reissued. Past that, Gigapower is skyrocketing because they haven't reissued anything in a while, and I thought they were going to redo them all again. And now we got a new kid on the block, so why not just enjoy the new stuff when the new one comes out? But past that, Fans Toys is more cartoon, and Gigapower is more, I don't want to say stylized, but it is a little stylized and very, very shiny with the back metal and all that. Looking at tracks, let's stay on track here. I just recently, this week, reviewed the Star Toys one, and I'll say this. It looks great in both modes. Transformation is a bit of a pain, but nothing broke. Like, one thing popped off, popped right back on. The left is Super 7, and their Super 7 Ultimates. Does not transform. Just thought it'd be quirky to throw it in this picture. And then on the right is Takara, which everyone's had problems with. I just really didn't care. It comes down to, I'm not a huge Trax fan, and it fills my slot. Star Toys does a great job. And I do want to say this. Anybody thinking Fans Toys or X-Transbots is going to make one with a better transformation? You're kidding yourself. Warpath stands as Fans Toys is by far the best, in my opinion, so I'd want to track another one of those down if I was starting all over again. On the right is Bad Cube, and I could not tell you how happy I was to get rid of Bad Cube for about what I paid. I think like $100. I think I paid $100, sold it for $100, and technically if you do that, you've lost about $20 because of the fees you pay on selling and then taxes you paid to buy it. But at the end of the day, I felt like mentally I got out of that thing even, and I did not like it at all. Did not like the Bad Cube one. I like the Fans Toys one. People argue he's too thin. I think he looks great. Wished he had shinier paint. Then we've got the Omnibots. We've got 2 of the 3 so far. Really your only option, and that is your only option, is X-Transbots. Let's go ahead and get into talking about Decepticon Splitswing here. This is an easy one. Either Star Toys or Fans Toys, whichever one. If you're price sensitive, more price sensitive, if I was like wanting to be cheap, Star Toys. I don't have a problem with it. It looks great. Fans Toys, I still do like Fans Toys a little bit more. I like that color of purple they chose. I also like that it just feels very hefty and it's very solid, but so is Star Toys, and you can nitpick little things here and there all day long. They're both great options. The one on the right, KFC, it's not a great option, but it might be the cheapest Masterpiece scale option that still looks decent. But you just kind of lean him back up against a shelf and make sure he doesn't fall forward. And you'll be fine. If you have that opportunity to get him for like $50, instead of spending $200 or $150 to $200, depending on where you're buying these, for these other 2 options, that's also, it's an option. I wouldn't be going for it though. Hence why I'm not selling my KFC Ditka that's on the right. I'm not selling the Ditka because I'm not going to get Ditka for it. Astro Train, there, in my opinion, you really only have one option, and it's Fans Toys Thomas, and it's decent. But it only looks good from the front. From the side, it starts to break down. From the back, it's not good at all because it's a triple changer, and those are challenging. I do wish we had a little bit something else going on with the hands and the way the forearm covering, and then the legs just, it falls apart a little bit the way it looks, but straight on it looks fantastic. And so with that, you can do a lot of decent poses, make them look decent. I had the DX9 one, and I got rid of it 5 days later, and it was still a hot item, and I was like, yeah, I got to get rid of this before anything else comes out. And that's all there really is for Astro Chain in Masterpiece. There's a lot of other options out there. They're just not big enough to be Masterpiece. Shockwave is between Quake Blast, Cloud9, and Takara's, which I would prefer the plus one. I do not have the plus one. I will not be paying the aftermarket price for the plus one, but I have a KO of the standard one, and that's fine. It's kind of lavender wave. So the one on the right is Takara, the left is a Quake Blast. I don't care for the Fans Toys one. I wouldn't be seeking out the Fans Toys one. I wouldn't want it. If somebody gave me one for free, I'd be like, can I get $50 for it on eBay? So that's how I would look at the Fans Toys one. I held it when it first was made. Now, there's a lot of similarities between Quake Blast and the Fans Toys Quake Wave, but I still prefer, out of all of them, Takara's. It's just it fits my mind's eye the best. It is short. It's on the short side. Maybe somebody would make a lot of money if they repainted some KOs to look like the Plus version and sold them. For Insecticons, they haven't made true Masterpiece Deluxe Insecticons. There are some that exist that are out there that are not true Masterpiece in my opinion, but Bad Cube is not too bad. This is another case where you really can't go wrong with any of the sets that exist in the Masterpiece. So the Bad Cube ones, they made two different versions. They made what's shown here as the Deluxe, which has vac metal on the wings and stuff like that, and has the clear chests and possibly even swap out options, clear or solid. Then we've got the MMC ones, which are also great, and I think might be the tallest. If they're not the tallest, they're as tall as Fans Toys, really close. So they look really good. I like them. I still do feel like Fans Toys is the best. I just think they look the best. They feel very hefty and solid. They've made minor updates to them when they were recently reissued. The prices have come way down because of the reissue, but they're starting to creep back up because it's been, time since the reissue. But if you had the opportunity to get these, I would still get these. The silver chest costs you an extra $100. Yes, that's due to because they made way less with the silver chest than with the purple, but it's also a cash grab. Huge, huge cash grab. Lastly, we've got Devastator. Now, I have to say this about Devastator. Devastator wars that are going on right now, there's so much. I mean, you've got the stylized ones, you've got the G1 ones. So I'm just going to say, for me personally, if I was in it, I would just get them one at a time, pick either Fans Toys or X-Transbots. I personally think X-Transbots is going to be better in bot mode than combined mode. This is the Fans Toys one. I think it will win in combined mode, in my opinion, out of all of them. We got MMC also in the mix, but they're a little shorter. This is a picture from TM Reviews that he did a little Cheem work. If you've been around long enough, well, you probably haven't. If you're starting over or if you're looking into it, getting some stuff right now, you probably don't know who Cheem is, but he made these little side-by-side comparisons that TM Reviews has put together for this, and makes it quick and easy to just say, hey, which one do I like more? I think you really can't go wrong with either one. Both will be great in combined mode, and both are decent in bot mode, but I think Fans Toys will shine more in combined mode, X-Transbots in bot mode. I'm in on both right now currently. Buying them one at a time as they come in. Probably not going to be box sets at the end for $1,200, but some place like TF Source will probably sell them as a bundle. But anyway, let me know if this helped you. 1985 Revisited. Like and subscribe. Ted Dearman out.